Okay, it's 5 o'clock, and we start this workshop. Number 1 is discuss proposals for reevaluation.
So as you know, we received 2 bids, one from RJD Appraisal and one from Maine Assessment Appraisal Services, Inc. When I did a comparison, RJD indicated that they were only bidding on real estate and not personal property. When I looked at Maine Assessment's bid for personal property, they bid a price per business, so that equates to $9,300 of their proposal. So I broke that out of the real estate, out of their total bid to give an apples to apples comparison. RJD indicated in their bid that the performance bond is included. Maine Assessment was going to bill us another $9,157 for a performance bond. RJD said that they would complete it in the tax year 2930. Maine Assessment said that they would have it done by July 1 of 28. And RJD did not address mapping. They're not equipped to digitize. Maine Assessment, they don't, but they recommended another firm. So I kind of put that out as a secondary note. For agent services, Maine Assessment said $1,000 a day or $125 an hour. Currently, we pay for $1,500 a month, and that contract allows us up to 2 days per month for that fee. So when you break it out by year or by total, RJD is the lesser expensive of the 2 bids received by a substantial amount. Close to $7,000, and we would be, if we wanted to start budgeting for the revaluation in the 2026 year, we'd be budgeting a little over $59,000 a year for the next 4 years. Whereas for Maine Assessment, we'd be budgeting $108,000 in year 1, $117,000 in year 2. $80,000 in year 3, and nothing in year 4. So it's in my opinion, RJD is the lowest bidder. It's more affordable. I like how they break it out into even payments. They are currently our assessor's agents, so they're familiar with the town. And they also currently are doing mapping, but that is using the old Mylar. So they actually take the Mylar and draw any changes on it and then turn it from there. I would like to see us at some point move to digital mapping services, but and we can discuss that as well. But so that is. Roughly how it breaks down. Do you guys have any questions on it?
So, Lobo gave us another company that does that.
Correct.
Can we get them to do, it wasn't a lot of money, it was like
No, like,
$5,000, something like
Yes.
that.
exactly.
Can we get if we go with RJD, can we get that to work together?
We can,
So that they can work together at it and get it all done at one time?
yes, because she
The digital
operates.
mapping we should have.
And I really like the fact that Google, you can lay Google Earth right on top of the town map, so I just think that's the direction to go, and move away from the old Mylars. But she is an independent company, And it was made clear that regardless of who we went with, she would be willing to do our mapping. It wasn't in conjunction with going with main assessment.
Right.
Is there any penalty if they don't get it done in that time frame?
Well, they would have a performance bond,
Okay.
so they would lose out on the bond, so yes, there's a big incentive to get it done on time. I know this is just a workshop and we're not gonna be voting, so, I guess, I can certainly put that on the agenda for next Tuesday for us to, vote on, who we want to, retain for doing the revow. And RJD said that they would do the revow as long as they continue being our assessing agent, which makes sense. They wouldn't want us to go with someone else, and then come back and do the revaluation. So we have my vote. All right.
You all set with that?
Yeah, unless there's other questions.
No.
Okay.
Number 2 is discuss pending fire contract, and there is a call for deputy chief.
So, in the agreement, current agreement with Town of Emden, first of all, it's important to note that the agreement runs from April 1 of 25 to March 31 of 26. And they pay the town $65,000 within that 9-month period. We try to collect all of the money in the current year. So that's a change, that was a change this year to the contract, which Emden was agreeing to. It did say that fire calls after 25 in number during the term of the agreement, so April 1 to March 31, would be billable. The actual cost of equipment and manpower, if required above and beyond the capacities and capabilities of the incident fire department. And then the reimbursement is for personnel and trucks. And that is the limit or the extent of their contract. So in my view, the incident list, I know the fire department does the list on a calendar year, but I don't think we can include the first dozen or so calls. I think we need to start with the April 3rd date to take a look to see if we're exceeding that total number of
Once you
calls.
sent me a copy of the contract and saw that the date was different, I
Yep.
just changed the search parameters. Right now, we're at 21 as of,
Okay,
and it's searched through 4/1 through 31/26.
okay.
So that, however many were on that calendar year
Yep.
sheet.
Okay.
That
And that is not AMS assist, or does
that
that
does not
include?
include any assist EMS.
Okay, all right.
I can rerun that and tell you exactly how many, including the assist EMS, if you're curious.
That's,
No, because it excludes that specifically.
So one question I have with that, specifically the assist EMS, is it assist any ambulance service that comes or only Anson Madison?
just going to ask that question.
Well, in the contract, it does say, excluding lift assist calls from AMS, emergency services. So I would say it's AMS only.
And in your email, I think it was in your email, you mentioned that 2 of the other ambulance services, general, a lot of times call you to go with them. Do we have any kind of contract with them for assistance? So we just do it for free? Is that what it wants?
Well, a lot of times what they'll do is if they're coming from Skowhegan, if the Anson Madison crews are busy, already spoken for, if there's a rescue coming from Skowhegan, they'll call us when it's the first respond. Not that we, that we're the first responders, medically wise, but at least there's somebody there sooner than 30 minutes away from the hospital. We do everything to help, but that's why I question it, because the contract specifically states excluding lift assist only for AMS.
Right.
So the other part of that is, even if AMS calls us for a driver, that doesn't fall under the lift assist, but we're also supposed to be able to bill AMS for that driver service. So it's kind of ambiguous. I know I'm pulling it hairs, but this is exactly what the clause says. How do you, if we just exclude the code for assisting EMS is, the type code is 311. So it's easy to pull those completely right out of the mix.
Yep.
If there's others, I'd have to go each one and see what exactly it was that we did. Was it the driver, was it assistant, the ambulance service?
So, I have a question on, you keep changing the initial, you keep talking about AMS and then EMS. So, for Anson Madison, we have a contract with them, or an agreement with them, that when we assist them, or we have a driver for them, they compensate us, correct? Am I correct?
Only if we provide a driver.
Only if you provide a driver. So, as far as assistance, what does assistance mean? You said, just to be there in case,
First,
you can get there first.
what this-
I'm speaking totally out of ignorance on what goes on with you and the ambulance, that's all.
So it could be, you just need help lifting, pulling, carrying someone out of the house, could be help with CPR. There's a list of, maybe a trauma patient, they just need extra hands and
Okay. And you do that as first responders, as fire department? Okay.
Yeah, it's a gray area because we can't really call ourselves first responders, but
yeah, there's
We
a
are-
lot-
That's how I understand it. We'll go that way.
Right, yes.
Okay, so, and you do the same thing for the other ambulance services that we're talking
If they call us.
about, if they call us. So it's just a service that you provide for them, other than being a reliable for these guys.
Is there a number that is a cutoff point? I mean, can you have 10 respond to a lift assist? Is there a cutoff point at all that you know?
You can't
So
really hit 10.
anybody can?
not unless somebody on the AMS service says, I need 2 or 3 people. But then again, you can't really go by that because somebody won't get a radio traffic saying, I'm going up there. You might have 2 people and you might have 15.
Right.
I mean,
That's-
When they call, it's whoever is available that goes, it may be enough, and maybe, in many instances, we've had to call the departments that can help us, because even though we had a full crew, it wasn't enough hands. The variable's always outweigh the cost for those, so it's just a matter of,
So whoever gets there first can respond back saying we don't need any more?
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
That type of
yeah.
thing, okay, all right.
so that was the only gray, or
Mhm.
very nitpicky question that or one of them, that was, is this the only thing? Because it makes it much easier just to pull that right out of the search altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the instances that Upper Kennebec or Reddington Fairview, ambulance comes to call an Emden, that they call us for assistance, I'd have to go each call specifically to see who it is that called us. And it doesn't, we don't always record who it was. We say, ambulance would call me, out we went.
So all of those are considered lift assist?
Not necessarily.
not necessarily.
So the way that the
So I'm just wondering whether we need to change the wording or what.
that's sort of up to you guys. It just makes a difference of,
Well, I need information. That's, you know, I mean, that's why I'm asking this. I mean, it says specifically lift assist, AMS.
And I honestly don't know how that really come about, for just lift assist. I really don't know, before me, so.
So should it be different for any, for assist?
I mean, that's probably
Assist
something we need
calls.
to talk to Chuck and them about. That might be something that we need to change. I don't know, I mean,
Because it starts out as the term fire calls, as used in the agreement, shall include but not limited to all calls to 911 regarding persons or property in the town of Emden where the Anson Fire Department is toned out, excluding lift assist calls from AMS emergency service. So do we need to change some of this? And you guys would know better than, maybe not better
You
than
can't even
explain
really
it.
put it in a medical call.
Hmm?
You can't even really put it as a medical call, because legally you're not licensed as the first responder, right?
if the intention of that line was to exclude calls, instances that were called to assist an ambulance service or an ambulance in town of Emden,
Then we need to change,
then the wording would be,
it needs to be EMS.
right, just excluding assistance to ambulance services or however they want to word it.
Right.
Excluding, no, not reading this, but get rid of the word lift and change AMS to EMS.
No, that's,
You-
yeah,
You could put it as EMS in general, but
Right.
it's just emergency medical services,
Right.
that's
right,
an ambulance service in general.
Okay. Okay, so that would include,
ready
now we
to,
can, that would include all of them. Okay, now my next issue is the lift assist. You're telling me that there is a difference between a call and a call with a lift assist.
Right, somebody, if they call because somebody's in cardiac arrest and they need help doing CPR, they're calling us for extra hands because it takes a lot of people. Whereas different as if they're calling for assistance because they need help carrying somebody out, that would be a lift assist.
What is the difference as far as you're concerned? As far as your call is concerned, is there a difference on who responds or the cost of the respond or, okay, so,
But if I'm hearing Stacy correctly and Brenda, if the fire department isn't licensed as a first responder, I would hate to put something in that contract that could get the town into trouble responding as such if they don't have the training
If
or the
we are
certification.
totally covered if an ambulance service calls us for assistance,
Yep.
whether it's lift assist, help with CPR, that is all part of general fire department duties. We work up to our level of training, we're all certified in CPR. that kind of
it's when you
stuff.
have
Can't do
somebody,
a medical
it's when you
call.
have somebody on the fire department that's going above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing to help the patient. I guess is how I want to put that.
We don't carry drugs, we don't carry oxygen, we don't carry anything that's normally on an ambulance, but we can respond, render basic first aid, CPR if needed, the basic stuff.
so at this point, all I'm looking for is, do we get rid of lift and change AMS to EMS?
I think the answer was yes, excluding assistance calls for emergency medical services is what I would write down.
Okay, because that makes a whole lot of difference on what we're charging. Because if we're charging for the other ambulances, then that number could go up and their cost could go up a lot.
If that was the intended purpose of that partial sentence, was to exclude any time that we're going to help an ambulance service or anything, and it just happened to be worded as lift assist. Now, if they're only looking to not account-specific lift assist, we can pull those out, kind of the one-by-one instances. We're just gonna help drive that number up
Right.
quicker.
So the question is, are we looking to drive that number up? To charge Emden more, because they are going up, and I'm not saying that we're out for profit, I'm just saying, do we need to charge them for other things other than fire department? Do
Jeremy,
we
how
need
many,
to charge them for that kind of thing?
how many of those calls were, freelance?
I'm trying to make it run that number, it's just being very slow this second.
It's okay.
We're spending a lot of time and a lot of fuel, a lot of energy, a lot of manpower, and we need to consider.
I think initially when this was first written, it was pretty generic.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed since.
Mhm.
a lot.
Right. And it's probably time to try to have a meeting with them. And I was just noticing, we signed the contract in the middle of January last year.
Seven.
But based on the $65,000 annual contract, you divide that by 25 calls, which is included in the agreement, that's $2,600 per call. So hopefully that will cover the truck and the personnel.
So Jeremy, on your report, it says medical assistance, assist BMS crew, 311. So can you break that out to whether or not that was for, oh, this is for anything, so can you break that out to whether or not it was a lift or whether it was CPR?
Not without going, opening each call and seeing what it was, it's just kind of a general,
Okay, so you can, when you go to build, before you build them, you can open that up further to make sure it wasn't just for lift assist.
so trying to answer your question, we've responded 8 assist EMS calls since this 25-26 contract year,
April, right?
Yes.
or April 1st through year to date.
So they give me date, right?
And then comparing that to what were the previous contract, if we accept this one, that's the road.
Can you believe what that will call them?
In the previous contract, which would have been 24-25, was 2. Out of the 40, would have been 42 times that we went to calls.
And most of you guys, you know, for some vehicles, we haul it through.
What's that?
They always, after when we haul it to them, they bring their personal cars and not bring their private
Well, depends on what it is.
Yeah.
If it's a lift assist,
cars. Right.
a lot of times it's quicker to just go straight there than it is all the way to the station.
Right. How much is that?
It's 65,000 per year. Or 2,600 a call.
And we've had 21 calls right now.
Mhm.
It's Well, that's 21, not including any assistant EMS. It'd be 29 if we include any of the assistant EMS.
And if we're gonna charge for some of that, and they don't take, if they take the person's vehicle, we can't be charged $2,600.
Now, the way, if you, one of the other clauses in the contract is how it is to be billed.
Right.
It is,
Mhm.
It's 100, it's, for apparatus, it's $165 an hour
right,
per truck for the first 2 hours. Anything after that was 110.
But most of it's just personnel, and that would be $20. Right?
Per hour per person, right, with a 1 hour.
So,
And there is nothing in the contract about the boat or the UTV, so I don't think we could include those in this current contract, but I think we should make a note to get them into the next contract and figure out a rate if we were to use the rescue boat or the UTV.
yeah. The UTV specifically, we had an accident on the rail trail. We utilized our UTV. But we also had to take one of the trucks with it to haul it on the trailer.
Okay.
So I don't,
what was the water rescue? Was that in? Seen it.
We had a couple of water rescues.
Yeah.
Our watercraft rescue, that was a disabled boat on the lake that,
Watercraft.
yeah, we went and rescued them from the middle of the lake in the wind and got them back in
But
the
still,
boat.
that's using that boat.
Using our boat, our personnel.
Mhm.
I think there was one with dog boat, and I think one deer accommodated somebody's on the dock up there one day too.
That was,
Not exactly, we wasn't making a bunch of.
Yeah, right, yeah.
yeah, that was, this year, last year, they, kids on a paddleboat got stuck in a storm.
Now, with those instances, I think we are within our right to, if that call was after, our 25 minimum, that we could at least bill for personnel, just not for the use of the equipment.
Well, we still deployed our truck, our boat for that specifically. They just happened to be working on the lake, went to a friend's, I could see the kids in the boat out there, just jumped in somebody's boat, went and got them before they drowned.
Yeah.
Ours still went, it just, it was done before we got there.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question? Like in a situation like that, the boat has to have insurance on it, right? The person that the accident happened on, right? Why couldn't you bill them for the rest?
Assuming maybe the boater is a resident of there.
Correct.
There are entities out there that do billing for cost recovery. Essentially, we buy into their services and.
Well, didn't you do it with the tractor trailers?
The Canadian I did, I billed their insurance company, well, I tried to build an insurance company, but ended up going to the Canadian outfit and ended up just cutting us a check and, because I think we were there for ungodly amount of hours and tied up 2 fire trucks to do traffic control and,
Was it because of their neglect or?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So yeah, I think that needs to be, the condition of charging anybody for a rescue would be neglect. And I know that that happens in other places, so I've seen
Right.
documentaries on YouTube on the emergency services have the right to charge if it's neglect on the person's part. Like they're climbing a mountain that they're not, that says do not climb,
Right.
and they're doing it anyways, and emergency services have to go there when they get hurt. Or skiing down a mountain where they're not supposed to, that kind of stuff. So as far as charging, yes, I mean, for neglect, but I mean, for a fire. There again, it's all,
Part of the cost recovery is there are, like your homeowner's insurance, some homeowner's insurance policies have a line in them for cost recovery from a local fire department if you were to have a fire in your home. And it's,
never noticed it, but, you know.
some policies have it, some policies don't, and I don't know exactly how the cost recovery companies build that. Like they may send a bill to the insurance company on our behalf, they keep whatever their commission percentages for doing the work, and then ultimately we wouldn't send an extra bill to a taxpayer if their insurance company wouldn't pay it. We just try to get what we can out of their coverages. That, I don't exactly know how that, I never had good luck with it when I was chief, trying to, like the only way that we were able to get any cost recovery from long duration incidents were specifically several of the Canadian trucks that had crashed in Emden. We turned our bill into the wrecker company, who added it to their bill to the insurance company because they can't have the truck back from the wrecker until the insurance company's paid. They were quick to pay it, and then the wrecker company reimbursed our portion of the bill. But it was very rare that we would ever get any reimbursement. Nor would we want to send it, a bill to any of the local taxpayers that are already paying taxes.
Right.
So I don't think there's any provision in boat insurance that would cover anything like that. No, unless it's changed, there's always an insurance.
So are we just looking at, to add like a cost in here? Like to eliminate, if we have a call with the fire department and it is used for AMS or EMS, why couldn't you boot it back to Anna? Like after so many calls, I guess.
After so many calls, what, try to get,
No, even,
bill it to AMS?
yeah, I
Oh,
don't know. I just,
instead of, yeah. Rather than
because they guaranteed 25 calls out of this, but it doesn't include
Right.
emphasis.
That may just be, need to have a discussion with the Emden board and decide what the intended
Right.
purpose of that specific clause was.
So right now, I mean, this is the contract. that we have.
Right, until
So
March.
Until we have a new contract, we're probably gonna have to bite the bullet on, just stick with the contract. I mean,
Right.
it's just, we're not charging for the EMS
Right.
calls. And as far as the, we had two things with the boat, any other equipment?
We use the UTV, but I mean, we're not even at
Correct.
the 25 mark yet.
So this is something we're gonna have to
Just
visit again and write up a whole new proposal. So right now, we just, and I know that that's what this meeting is about, so apparently it's more in depth.
Well, that's just question 4. Question 4, and we gotta add the boat and the ATV
So-
as like a cost of your truck.
Right, and then because, so with the cost of the apparatus, line, or Article 6, I guess, in the contract is
Right.
reimbursing in accordance with paragraph 5 shall be at the following rate: personnel, $20 an hour, trucks, and it specifically says trucks.
So that could be a boat or an ATV.
And then
No.
Trucks.
Then we have a truck that has to haul,
Yeah.
you know, what kind of truck?
Right,
Okay.
and
We're
then I,
charging the same price for the pickups as we do for the engines, or whatever.
And the other part of that, personnel for $20 an hour is not covering the cost.
it's been that, not, well, no, I think it was 18, and I think we went up
Right,
to 20 last year, right?
but to look at it, $20 an hour covers the actual pay plus $1, but it's not covering workman's comp, liability insurances, like, that is a very, very conservative, like, that's just covering the expense.
Right,
And if that's what everybody's happy with, I mean, that's how I look at it, like, and $165 an hour for, like, those trucks aren't cheap by the time you figure out. Like, I also feel that that's a pretty conservative.
maybe come back with us with a proposal for your truck rate. Personnel, you know, maybe we should go up to $25 in the 26 contract,
At least,
or $30 an hour.
Hey, if we pay $19 an hour,
Yeah,
we're
well, and
charging
then there's
20.
that,
And that $20 an hour isn't covering firefighter pay, and then, or the payroll tax.
Right.
Like that, we're already behind, just adding the payroll tax, we're already behind that. So,
So can we add for the EMS, charging them for non-medical, as in, okay, you're talking about lift assist, that's helping them, right? That lifting, helping to lift or doing something, not licensed medical, but can we exempt that, but charge them for other than traffic control, that kind of stuff?
Well, that's considered into the fire.
yeah.
right, I think the easiest way to do it is just to change that Article 4 line from excluding lift assist calls for AMS emergency services to just excluding any assistance to EMS calls. Period. Just,
yeah, just take that right
It'll
out.
make it more simple.
Yeah.
So on the charges, we're gonna have to add boat ATV, which would be pretty much the same.
Right.
But we're also including a truck and personnel with that. So it's
Yeah,
not
other
a
than
one,
personnel.
it's not a one charge, it's a truck, personnel, ATV,
right, the UTV could,
UTV.
the UTV
Boat is probably about the same.
The UTV theoretically, reasonably could go with one person, but it's gonna take the one person, the one truck to haul the trailer, and the UTV.
And then we're
The
charging,
boat.
then we're charging for additional personnel after that.
Right. And then if the boat is to go, the boat doesn't go in the water without at least 2 people on it,
Right.
minimum. So now we get 2 people, truck to haul it,
Correct.
and
And the use of it.
and the boat, and the use of it, so.
And that's up to
I would say come up with an hourly rate for UTV and an hourly rate for boat. And we'll add it to the contract next year. And then we can talk about, I know there's an ambulance meeting coming up this week, maybe we can talk
Tomorrow
about
night.
the lift assist or first responders and whether we can bill them directly or, I know we pay an ambulance subsidy charge. I don't know if Emden also pays one.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
It's all based on per capita.
yeah, okay, so.
So right now, as far as budget, as far as getting paid for this, it's simply you get paid according to this
this
contract,
contract until March.
which excludes the boat.
It does.
Chief, is there any qualifications to operate that boat?
Just driver training.
That's it?
Yeah.
So
And when
anybody,
it comes to actually getting in the water to get somebody, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's what I'm saying, so you can conceivably have somebody show up that isn't qualified to get in that boat and go.
Well, if you're gonna have to rescue, you're not gonna get in the boat and go, you need 2 people,
Well,
right? I mean, you
Yeah.
can't leave the boat, you
Right.
can't leave the boat empty to rescue someone else, because then you may be rescued too. And you probably have policy for that already, I'm
what if boat people show up that aren't qualified?
Boat doesn't go.
not sure. No, I agree, no, right.
Boat doesn't go in the water and somebody's in. So wouldn't it be wise to get people qualified on this boat? How many people are qualified? Is
A lot.
16 of the 25.
Yeah.
Is that when we did the
Yes.
ice in the water over here
Yeah.
last year? Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a quick AI search on this for fire department, national average, for fire department reimbursement for watercraft is this says an average of $125 to $155 an hour per boat for, what is considered a small boat, which is less than 20 feet, which is what ours is.
And that's just the boat.
That's just the boat.
That's not including
Well, that's the boat, but it doesn't say whether or not it's
the person.
including personnel with it. That's just a quick FEMA equipment reimbursement rate that you can charge the federal government if they activate us for emergency response.
So it's gonna take more work
Yeah.
to get some of your answers and for us to get the contract up there to them.
Mhm.
So right now, it's charging them as according to our contract, which we're not up there yet anyways, as far as charging them.
Mhm.
What were we charging them previous years for that contract?
A lot less than 65.
Right,
Yeah.
we upped that quite a
Yeah.
bit, we were like 55,000, so
Yeah,
we've gone up substantially, so,
and we're still cheap.
yeah. They would have a hard time, running getting the services for that kind of money. And I don't know who, the nearest fire department other than us, that they might turn to if they felt we were too expensive, that.
Jeremy, have you ever gone over 25 calls?
Last year, in the previous year's contract, we were not including EMS, we were at 40.
That's 40?
I think that's one of the biggest, well, most of the structure fires were up there too 1 year.
That was what ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
That car
that's not
accident.
including EMS assistance.
Right. Wow.
Wires down,
Yeah,
stuff
right.
did it quite a bit.
Well, it's a rough year anyway.
Mhm.
Storm out.
There's one, if you want to look at it, that count sheet is the previous year, it's written on the bottom of the search date was.
But last year you didn't go over. Well,
The
That
previous
one.
year contract it was.
42.
2024.
I can email that to you, so,
Yeah.
or you got the paper copy, but just print them off, so.
Is that,
I think so. Thank you.
thank you, I don't know if we answered any of your questions, but it's deeper than we thought, I guess, so.
Just food for thought, the national average for fire engine reimbursement rates is $250 to $500 an hour, depending on location in the country,
250?
to 500.
Where are you getting this information from?
Just,
No, I mean, what did you Google?
just put in Google's AI was the national average for reimbursement for fire department apparatus.
I know it's that simple, I just don't know the words, I don't know the words to ask.
But, I mean, this, basing off FEMA rates, what their reimbursement suggestion is $1 per 1,000 of the vehicle's value per hour.
Wow.
Oh,
take the new truck.
Phew.
Don't take that new truck. God.
Well, that's
Okay.
That's a lot expensive.
reimbursement averages for personnel on a fire line, granted this is federal, is $70 to $100 an hour per person.
Location,
Oh.
location.
Yes, it is. It's not an Anson main.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the
Good. What? Go ahead.
UTV? Do they have that one?
125 to 155, right? Isn't that what you
That
said?
was the vote.
That was both.
Excuse me.
When are they expecting to have a meeting started?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
6?
We have 15 minutes.
Yeah. But we still
We're only on number
have
2.
4 things to go through.
We may not get them all the time. That's all right.
That's okay, I can look it up. I'll find this site and pull this up.
Or you can look it up and let us know.
Oh.
Yeah. Add it to our notes.
FEMA will pay $125 a day if it's on a wildland fire. Oh, that's for standbys. If it's on an actual working assignment, $150 an hour for capable UTV.
150 per hour.
That to me sounds pretty steep as a taxpayer,
That's not very steep.
but we're also, right now, we're earlier today, I was trying to find parts for the track suspension because last time it went out on a rescue, apparently we snapped one of the suspension springs, and so it's just, we never get to go out and just be gentle and play easy. It's full tilt every time we go until we get back, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Discuss closing down office on Friday, December 26th, and Friday, January 2nd.
Yeah, so it came to light that with Christmas Day being on a Thursday, what to do on Friday. I know a neighbor in Madison, they're actually closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of Christmas. And I noticed when I picked up the discharges at the county office today that they're closed on Thursday and Friday as well. I didn't check with the neighboring towns, but I think the office staff is more inclined to have Friday, December 26th off, more so than January 2nd, I think. You know, if you didn't want to be closed those 2 days, we could, if we'd be willing to entertain at least one.
I think January 2nd is going to be, though it's after Christmas, January 2nd, you can have some new toys and stuff that maybe
You think?
only little truck status. So my thought is 26 off and January 2nd to work. Just my thought.
What about the rest of you?
Big quiet.
Yeah.
Kind of get nervous saying that.
Seeing that we're off on Thursdays quite often all year, and it's another week, following week, and what difference would it make? The second off also. When does that fall? On the Thursday that we're not working?
January 1st is Thursday, so Friday would be
So
January
it's
2nd,
it's
yeah,
gonna be
falls
that.
on Friday.
They hit both on Friday.
Right. Yeah, those Fridays. I can inquire around too, you know, if you wanna see what other towns are, or put it out on the listserv to see what they're doing, but, if, you know, if you agree with Jim and just want to give, the Friday after Christmas and have the town office be open on the second, I think, you know, I think people would be okay with that. I think that would be doable.
Would you say it was closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Madison.
Madison?
I didn't ask him about New Year's.
New Year's, Christmas is more for family.
Yeah.
I think that's why
Yeah.
they do the Christmas Eve, Christmas and the day after, so
Right.
people can be with families.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than the Friday of January.
Right.
Have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for them, for a family.
Well, if you think that's the way you're headed, we can, I can let the staff know that we'll be voting on it next week, but, you know, they can plan to have that Friday off,
But not the following.
but not the following, right?
Okay.
I just wanted to bring it up on the workshop because I thought waiting until the 23rd was too close. and-
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Number 4, discuss updated job descriptions for all municipal employees to include who they report to.
So I pulled together what I have found, and I emailed them to you. And I printed them for you. Yes, so you guys all have them. So my thinking is, there are a couple that were established by ordinance. We may want to look at updating those. But let's start with like the customer service specialist. And what I put in that draft is an employee acknowledgement at the end, so that as we go through and revamp at the bottom, we can put when it was adopted. Some of these that are in the file, I don't know if they're in the file because they were pulled from another town, or if they're in the file because we actually adopted them. So I think moving forward, we should indicate when it was adopted. We should have the employee who is doing that particular job sign off on their job description so they know what it entails. And I also think that their supervisor or a board member sign off on it too. And we can start to build our job descriptions and keep them by department.
Good idea.
Yeah. So I tried to group them by categories. You'll see like all the administration ones in the front, and then it went to highway.
The recreation director, would that go through?
No, that will need to be updated. Mhm. Yeah. At least to pull out that interlocal agreement.
Right.
Yeah. And then, Stacy, you had provided the fire chief and the deputy ones. Are those opposed, or is that what you're currently operating under?
That's what we've always operated under.
Okay,
It's
alright.
been in the system since
All
I've
right.
taken over.
So those are some good job descriptions then. Okay, perfect. I still think, maybe at the end we should have an acknowledgement section and have everybody sign them so that, we know moving forward that we've seen it, everybody's seen it.
So,
Yep, so look those over. What I'd like to do is take the job descriptions that I found and give them out to each department. Actually, I already took the two that I had found for highway. And then I thought with admin, I'd give Kim hers that affect her job and Maddie, and then have them add to or cross out or update, so that we can compare what we have on file with what their duties actually are, and try to come up with some more current and up-to-date descriptions for each position. And I did find one too for, I think there's one for the EMA director, there's one for the animal control officer, and code enforcement. That's in the ordinance, so if we wanted to, probably any that are ordinance driven should be discussed sooner rather than later, so that we can hold a public hearing and amend it or repeal it from the ordinance if you didn't want it to be regulated by ordinance. And try to get that on for this coming March. Those two of them.
The code enforcement.
The other one is,
Recreation.
the workplace of the town clerk, treasurer, and tax collector. Anson Workshop to establish. So it's admin. Admin and the code enforcement ordinance. And we should really revisit that now that we contract out. That should be updated as well. For next Tuesday's meeting, I'd like you to review and comment and hopefully approve the customer service job description. So that we have that in place, should we want to make an offer to someone.
Somebody take that pen. Oh, my pen back. Yeah, buddy, yeah.
Other people signing things.
I remember, then we were gonna give you my pen, but Debbie Driver.
Okay.
Good? Any other business you guys want to talk about?
I do have, Kim gave me the payroll warrant and the AP warrant, for signatures, so I'll pass those around, and then we do have one certificate of appointment, that, needs to be signed. So I'd like to get your signatures on those, as well. And with that, we're running really close to our recycling meeting, so I don't know what you want to do about the executive session. Don't
Yeah.
think it.
Next week's is 4 to 6, we're doing interviews
That's tomorrow.
on tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is the,
Tomorrow, yeah,
the,
right. This is the executive session for interviews.
this one here.
And this executive session was a legal matter, but we're almost time to.
Change that to next week.
Okay, yeah. I'll add that to 2 days, the 23rd.
Okay. All right, number 7 is adjourned at 5:59. Thank you all. Awesome stuff.
No,